everybody, welcome back to my channel, Chrissy's Point of View. I am Chrissy, and today I just decided we need to talk about health, because your health is your wealth, and if your health not good, your mindset will not be good. So today the subject is going to be diabetes, and we are going to discuss how to fight diabetes, the foods that you could eat, and what you can do like to steady. I don't know too much about it. That's why I got somebody a second somebody's second opinion in it. So I have a registered dietitian. She studied in the UK. She has her bachelor's in dietetics and nutrition. So this is not no fly-by-night person I have here. This is somebody who know their stuff, people. Right? You know, I do things for y'all. I do this for you, right? So you will have the knowledge and you will have a better mindset and know better how to treat things. So without any further ado, I will introduce you to Miss Charles, where she will now tell you how to treat diabetes, the foods that you can eat and should stay away from, and how to balance your, I think it's insulin. I don't want to pretend I know, but she will tell you all about it. Right.
Hello everyone. Chrissy, thank you so much for inviting me to your really super motivational moment. And today, as you said, we're going to be talking about diabetes. And because I'm a dietitian, of course I will be talking about food and relationship with diabetes. But what is diabetes? Diabetes occurs when, for some reason, the body cannot manage the sugar, the glucose. Where is that glucose or sugar coming from? It's coming from the foods we eat. Those foods are carbohydrates, things like rice and potato and yams and sweet potato, fruits, natural sugars, peas and beans like red beans and lentils, even some vegetables like pumpkin and carrots and beetroot. The milk is also contains lactose, which is a milk sugar. These are the foods that give us sugar or glucose in our body. But what's so important about this glucose? Well, my people, if it is you did not get glucose in your diet, you will be very weak and tired. And you'll always be finding that you want to go and take something to drink that is sweet because your body is not getting enough of the sugar. But there is an important hormone called insulin, which is secreted from an organ in our bodies called the pancreas. And this insulin knows how to regulate the body. So there are some people who don't have enough, and they have to get injections of insulin. There are others who have the insulin there, and they just need tablets to help and work with the insulin. But it doesn't matter which one they have, they've got to look at controlling the amount of food in their diets. And how do we do that? It's important that you eat these starchy foods. So I told you that yes, these foods will give you sugar in the body, but you cannot avoid them. Because the tablet or the insulin injections, once they get into your body, they are going to be looking for food. And this food that they're looking for are those same foods I called. But you're eating these foods together with your meat, your fish, your chicken, your other vegetables. But you cannot go and just eat cake, eat ice cream, because these things are going to raise that blood sugar too high for the medication to manage it. So persons with diabetes, first of all, have to take medication a lot of times. Secondly, they've got to match their food with the way that the medication works. So if they take a tablet this morning at 7, next morning they're supposed to take it at 7 again. Some of them, they have to take the tablet twice a day, so they should take it 12 hours apart. But they need to eat. You cannot take the tablet, drink a cup of coffee, and rush out the house. You're going to feel sick. You've got to eat. Sometimes you may be in a hurry, so you've got to probably just have your cereal and milk, or maybe a yogurt and fruit. Those things will work with the tablet until next 3 hours. So when the dietitian sees these people, The dietitian has to find out how are these people eating. If it is that your lifestyle is as such that you're on the go, you may have to walk with these things. You may have to start getting a little cooler or a little lunch bag. My people, you have to start looking at the timing. It's important. A lot of us now, we eat on the run. A lot of us eat one meal a day. A lot of us don't eat meals, but they just eat snacks. Once we are taking these medications, we have to watch the timing of eating. The second thing that we have to look at is the control of the amount on the plate. So just because I said that yes, you need the fruit still, you need the yams and the dashes and the potato and the rice, you have to control it so that your amount of starch and natural sugars have to be controlled. And this is the reason why you cannot afford to have long intervals in between your meals. It's no longer, oh, I ate at 7 or 8 and I'll just eat when I'm hungry. It cannot work so, because that tablet or that insulin is doing its work. So what happens when you don't eat on time? You start to feel very tired and very weak, and you start to want sweet things. What are those sweet things? The sweetened drinks, the cake, the ice cream, the chocolates, and it makes life difficult. Alcohol is another thing that we have to be careful of, because alcohol becomes sugar. One cannot just take alcohol and drink it freely when you're taking these medications. You also need to read labels, because you might see 100% fruit juice in a drink. But when you read the ingredients list, sugar is there as number 3 ingredient. That's not for the person with diabetes. You've got to read the label that says unsweetened or no added sugar, and still control that amount of fruit juice. But we will always advocate for fresh fruit in controlled amounts. In Trinidad and Tobago, where I live, you're going to find that we have a lot of fruits, and we love a lot of fruits at one time.
Both US.
In the US, it's the same thing. Oh my gosh, it's even more fruits, the peaches and the pears and the plums. You've got to be careful how much you eat. You cannot just take these things and eat it freely and say you're going to eat it in place of your potatoes and beef or your potato and chicken. No, we want you to have a balanced diet as well. So it's not just only managing your diabetes, but it's also looking at having the veggies, having the chicken or the fish, and having your starch as well. We want to also advise that you need to look at the type of carbohydrate. So it's not just the white potato or the white bread. Why? Because the whole grain or the multi-grain or the cracked wheat, it has a different type of carbohydrate that takes longer to be absorbed. So it works better with the tablet or with the insulin, and it gives better control. You would not have spiking.
So you recommend sweet potato?
I recommend sweet potato, I recommend yams, cassavas, quinoa, couscous. These are things that will help with managing your blood sugars. But what is critical, and I want to emphasize this again, the timing. Do not say you are only eating one big meal a day. We find a lot of problems with clients who tend not to eat at night. So you probably had a late lunch and you know you have to take your tablet at night, and you're not eating properly, not eating enough. And you get up in the night, your blood sugars drop low, you want to eat. Please make sure that you have something with starch or natural sugars before going to bed. And not heavy. We look at patients and clients, we look at them, and we also have to make sure that they're not having too much fat. We also have to make sure that this blood sugar is not going to affect the kidney. Remember, when your sugar is very high, it can affect any organ in the body, your eyes, your kidney, your heart. So this is why it is important to keep managing your blood sugar levels. Just to recap, when you're looking at your diet and diabetes, it's the type of carbohydrate. You need to have it. It's the quantity of carbohydrate in your diet, and it's the timing of this carbohydrate with your medication. But remember, at the end of it all, you must ensure that you have the other food groups to balance and enjoy a balanced meal to be able to work towards diabetes wellness.
Okay, so now that we know so much about diabetes and how to manage it, now we're going to talk about how to prevent it for those who don't have it, and for what we should probably try and stay away from, even though we don't have symptoms of it, to make sure that it doesn't creep up on us, regardless if it's the doctors say it's hereditary or not. Because if you have realized that a lot of people, like stars and stuff, they have been getting diabetes. I don't know if it is because of the partying and cocktails and alcohol and all these different things. What we can do to prevent it.
Great. So prevention is always better than cure. And what kind of lifestyle are we living in? We are living in a new normal. A lot of us have been home locked up. A lot of us have been going to work, and for some reason we find ourselves not being able to cook, and we are tending to eat more fast foods. And let me just say at this point, fast foods don't just mean the commercial fast foods. Fast foods might be someone in a van or who's cooking, and you purchase from them. So let's look at foods generally eaten away from home, or as we in dietetics call it, street foods. We need to be careful with eating away from home too often. I will start there, because obviously if I am cooking for general public, I am not going to be concerned about whether the food has too much fat, or the food has too much salt, or the food has too much sugar, or I'm serving too many sugary drinks. No, I have my business to take care of. Therefore, I want to make sure the food is tasty. And tasty in this world means a lot of extra salt with all these nice fancy seasonings. It also means a lot of extra fat, and we love to take a lot of extra sugary drinks with that, or some of us love sugar coffee, or like to put a lot of sugar in our tea. If we are trying to prevent blood sugars situation, I would like to say right now, check your body weight. Do you know your weight? You know your cell phone number. I am positive you know your cell phone number. But do you know your weight? Do you know your body mass index? These are critical figures. These are figures that should be on your cell phone, so you know at a glance. If you are above your body mass index is above 24, you need to start looking at yourself. You need to start looking at yourself. If it is that you're a female over 40 and you're overweight, danger. If it is that you're in menopause and you're overweight, danger. These are the persons who tend to have problems with blood sugars going up. And let me say too, there is no such thing as a trace of sugar in your blood. So you might have gone for a test and it was just a trace, and they said, oh, don't worry about that. Go and eat, drink, and be merry. No, no, no. So that if you are one of those who takes up complete physical every year or every 6 months, and someone tells you it's just a trace of sugar, you need to start looking at that. If you have high blood pressure, you need to start being careful. High blood pressure and diabetes are cousins. You may wonder why, because it's all related to stress. And once that body's under stress and things start to go off a little funny in there, you know, we like a lot of the salty foods, but then salty foods could also have a lot of extra sugar. Remember, it's not the sugar that causes the diabetes. It is because we get sugar from, as I explained earlier, we get sugar from all the potatoes and the bread. How many of us eat a lot of flour? I'm not saying here to stay away from flour, but if you find yourself eating too much flour, you better start watching it. That can make you put on weight. But if you don't want the flour, what are you replacing it with? Because flour is energy. How are you getting your energy? So we're going to look at the females. The females are the ones, because we are the ones that put on weight so quickly. Males have to watch it, especially with the alcohol intake. They should be checking their prostate, because all of these things we should be checking on ourselves, because these are the things that somewhere down the road it's going to add stress. And usually the males tend to have more stress, head of the home, maybe big executive, all of these things can lead to blood sugar challenges later on. But when we look at all these situations I just spoke about, I have to bring it back to the food on the plate, because a lot of times we are not eating on time. We are not eating in correct quantities. We're just grabbing here and there. Check yourself. Did you have breakfast this morning? What about last night? What did you eat for dinner? Was it a heavy meal and you went and sat on your sofa watching your Netflix and you fell asleep? What do you think will happen with all that food? It will turn into fat. And when that little mid area comes on, because waist circumference is just as important as body mass index. Females out there, take a tape measure and put it around your waist by your navel area. If it is 35 to 36 inches plus, danger. Men, if it is 40 plus, danger. So it comes back down to waist circumference, body mass index, the type of lifestyle you're living, of course hereditary is in there, and of taking care of your bloods, checking on your bloods. Please watch your fats. A lot of these fast foods are fatty, greasy foods. We need to be careful. We don't want fat clogging up the arteries. It can cause problems because it could go and clog up the blood vessels in the pancreas, and that can cause problems. So it's one thing can lead in, and I will always come back to my area with food. Let's look at tipping the balance a bit. Let the plate be, half of the plate be our color, coming from vegetables and fruit. A quarter of the plate should be starch and the other quarter meat. Prevention is better than cure. Let's nip it in the bud now. Let us start checking our body mass index, our waist circumference. Let us work towards wellness.
Wow. Did y'all take notes? I hope y'all took notes, people. My people, I hope y'all took notes. You see, I am giving y'all value here. You see, you're getting free information on your health. Very, very, very important. Now, if you have any comments, please leave below. If you have any questions, please leave below. I will leave an email below that you can ask any question you want, and I will try my best to make sure the dietitian answers for you, right? If you need any help in that area. Also, I have left a gift underneath this video for you, and I hope that you have subscribed to my channel and give me a like, because I just gave you so much value, people. See you next time on Chrissy's Point of View. Bye.